Underdog Daily with the Batch Bros, Jon and Nez, hanging out. Black and Yellow Dog app platform, the people, Underdog Fantasy. We got a fun one tonight. We got Primetime Palooza kicking off week 2 of the season here. We got a lot to work through. We talked about this game a little bit already in the Monday times Thursday night football, but there's still a lot more to talk about. And then there's going to be a whole nother game we haven't talked about at all this week with the Sunday night football game, Vikings and Falcons. So it's going to be a fun one to break down there. Going to try and keep this one a little bit shorter and sweet. We hit the main slate heavy for 2.5 hours yesterday, and Nez and Pete are going to do so again tomorrow there. But yeah, excited for this one. Excited to kick off week 2 with a Primetime Palooza slate.
Yeah, this is another really fun slate. I've been really enjoying drafting it. It definitely is choose your own adventure. We'll get to it, but like those are pretty fun PTPs in my opinion, where it's not like, okay, here's what like you need to do optimally, and you got to hope somebody goes out of order. I mean, obviously, first 2 rounds has that dynamic, but it's really wide open in my opinion after round 2. So yeah, it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, I fully agree with you there, bro. I think the first 7 picks are kind of like a little bit set in stony. And if you happen to be like the lucky benefactor of receiving like a fall in one of those rooms, you instantly introduce a unique combination. But yeah, I did 20 of them this morning, and I did all of my fullback dives, just knowing that I didn't have more time later. So I got all 5 of those ones in there. And yeah, man, I think there's some underlooked scrolls right now for sure. Like some players that could definitely pop off. We talked about the ambiguity with the pass catchers with the Packers there. There's a couple running backs with a little bit of ambiguity there who could, see 10 touches and he's free in the last round there, and also has some contingent upside. If you guys catch my drift. But yeah, we'll break it all down here in a second. Nez, I want to start the program the same way in which we started yesterday, because I think it's an amazing, fun, cool concept, and I just don't think enough people know about it just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the Dawg Bowl Pick'em style here and just remind everybody, I'm going to give you the brief synopsis. I went in detail yesterday. The token is dropping on Saturday. The token drops every single Saturday. So when that token comes out, we will share the link in the Discord. We'll share the link in the videos. We'll share it on Twitter, that sort of thing. You have to sign up for the token. Then the token appears in your lobbies here for the Pick'em stuff. And then you apply said token on a touchdown-only Pick'em entry. And the person who wins with the highest multiplier then gets pushed into the next round of the contest. So there are 10 weeks to qualify. There's been 1 qualifier already in week 1 there with that 15.39x, which both Nez and I were kind of, what was the term we used yesterday, Nez? Floored or shocked or whatever that it was so low there, because I think so many people would have thought you needed 100xer to qualify, something like that. But
yeah.
Man, $5 price point over the course of 10 isolated weeks. And then if you make week 11, the top 3 out of those 10 qualifiers then get to go to Kansas City. So if you don't want to be spending immense amount of money in the draft game Dawg Bowls, or you can't afford to have the bankroll to be drafting, 20, 30, 50 of those a week at the $25 price point, here is a great backdoor way to come into the Dawg Bowl experience. It's not the same contest. You will be having your own contest, and the drafters will be having theirs, but you will be there for the shared experience.
Yeah. Like you said, man, this is just something that really, it would just, I think everybody watching this, that if you're able to play this needs to play this. I mean, this is like a no-brainer right now. There's just no way enough people are playing this for what it's actually like, the EV of this and what it's worth. 50 G's grand prize.
Yeah.
Hello?
Right.
This is insane. This is I can't, there's just no way that this isn't like a plus EV venture, especially for like a $5 entry. I mean, holy shit, man. I seriously I just think I know I'm overreacting, but to me it's just hilarious. I love this. I love this.
It's such a good spot, man. So, guys, make sure you get the token on Saturday there. I want to share alongside some stuff that's going on in the chat right now. First one here, David saying, do you get just one token or can you enter multiple tokens for the same week? It is only one. So you only get one pick'em entry for the week. So you have to go down the rabbit hole, and that's what Schmo's asking here, with some of the game theory and the strategies associated with it. So, if it's a low scoring week like week 1 and there's not that many people signed up for the contest, well, you only needed a 15xer to get there. Now, methinks that week 2, a little more publicized, a little more talked about on our program, a little more talked about on other programs. Going to talk about it tomorrow on Off and On the Clock. I think you're probably going to need a little bit heavier than a 15x here, but it is really hard to win, 15, 20, 50x pick'ems, right? We know that. We try every damn week, and mainly the core is what gets you home, and those are like the 6xers, right? So I don't think you need these like 200xers necessarily unless it's a super uber high scoring week.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to stay under 100x for next week. Thinking, because I mean the game theory angle of this, man, is like you can theoretically probably get home with another 15x this week if the field is like hitting chalk and in a major, like, it's hard to know and guess like what like ownership is or frequency of player touchdown usage in these tokens are, but like you can probably safely avoid some of these like sub 1x players that are going to be put in there because people just like want to take a sure thing. So by going a different route in that regard and just kind of hope that like something like last week happens. I mean, there's so many of us that if we just watered down our entries by like a pick'em or two, like we could be fighting over like, oh, like 40x was in second place. Like to me, like a lot of us were close. I don't have a target multiplier yet. I'll probably talk about that tomorrow with Pete on Friday, but that's definitely something that I'm going to be giving some heavy consideration to after I like take a look at these tight end or these touchdown markets and what I think is going to be popular.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the ownership puzzle associated with like if you fade like a high guy, like you fade like, obviously Bijan's not on the main slate, but if you fade like the Bijan, the Saquon, the CMC, the Derrick Henry, and you do it some other way, you probably knock off a large portion of the field instantaneously.
100%, man. I mean, I don't know what this. Okay, so the multiplier is on this one. Can you scroll down? Is this the whole pick'em?
Yeah.
Okay. 0.78, 0.84, 0.89. 3 sub 1x pick'ems. The craziest one they put in there was Bill at 1.3. Right. I mean, to me, this is just like a look inside the mind of a Dawg Bowl entrant, And I don't mean that disrespectfully to this winner. I'm just saying, like, this is how we can kind of understand what people are doing here. And they're looking toward chalk for sure.
Right. Yeah, 100%, dude. Love to see this again, Spike. Man, gifted memberships after memberships after memberships out here. Takes down 50 dimes. Joins us on the program on Monday there. Salt of the earth guy, Steelers fan. A lot of fun there. 20 gifted Badge Bros memberships. Loved and appreciated. Never necessary. Thank you so much, my friend.
I'm gonna have to put on this goofy ass Pittsburgh hat for Spike because we gotta rep the Berg. I don't even know if he respects the Pirates, if he's if he acknowledges the Pirates' existence, but we gotta rep the Berg since Spike's out here giving us 20 membies. I mean, good Lord, man, you can't ask for a better guy.
Can't ask for a better community out here. Love to see it. So supportive. Much appreciated there. Nez, what can the people have this weekend, in particular tomorrow night, that's going to make good on these memberships?
So the plan is to run a duo stream with Pete Overzet. You may have heard of him. And he and I are going to both be behind our respective paywalls here and draft some Dawg Bowls. So little no strip Nez action. Still need to tell my wife that's in the cards, but that'll be happening. I believe 7 or 8 Eastern is the plan. I need to actually double check with that, but yeah, be on the lookout for that. So we're doing Off and On the Clock tomorrow, Friday, at 3 Eastern, and then a few hours after, we are drafting Dawg Bowls behind our paywalls.
Awesome. So a double dip of Nez and Pete tomorrow. Pristine company for a Friday night YouTube-based stream alongside Pete. Nez, given the fact that his colleagues last week on Friday night were Brandon Marshall, Derek Carr, and Tyrann Mathieu. This Friday, it is now you.
Yeah, they're calling it the car bump, the Honey Badger bump. You go from Honey Badger to Nez on a YouTube members only stream. That's gonna fetch 50 viewers. Yeah, it doesn't get bigger than this.
It doesn't get bigger, my friend. Oh man, that's good shit. Appreciate Spike. 20 more of you will get to enjoy that. I think that brings our grand total. I think Spike's now donated 50 memberships this week. Finding Value Fantasy dropped off 20. There was 100 last week. Man, it's crazy right now. I think our total is up near 400 or 500 now. So lots of you guys are going to get to enjoy that one tomorrow night. Love that so much. Okay, Nez, let's move on here from the Dawg Bowl pick'em stuff. Unless there's anything else you need to say there.
No, nothing else to say here. Just like we're gonna keep reminding you guys because it would be it'd be insane for us to not like get you guys like in on this, because I'm telling you, this is just like this is such a like no-brainer to get in on.
Yeah, especially given like the minimum price point threshold and whatever. Like
yeah,
it just
single entry for everybody. I mean, like the playing field's super even. Yeah.
And there's such an edge to it. The fact that you have to sign up for the token. So you have to be aware of all these steps to do it. It doesn't just appear in your app. I believe that was a question in the chat there. Yep. You do have to sign up for the Google Sheet. Then it instantaneously goes to your app. Then you have to apply it. So there are some steps of due diligence that have to occur, which instantly limits the player pool, which is instantly plus EV for you as a player, as someone who's drafting an entry for this.
Exactly.
Love it. Okay, Nez, let's move into Thursday Night Football here. As we said before there, I think I did 20 some odd this morning and then finished I did 17 of the main, and I did finished my primetime dives already there. How far along are you in your process for this evening?
I believe I'm at 80 PTPs, maybe just short of 80. I can tell you here in a second. 77 primetime Paloozas for me so far.
Right on. I come in here, fucking got the feathers up on my chest, pounding my chest, buddy. Like, hey, listen to this, Nez. I got 17 and 5 done, baby. And you come in here and go, oh yeah, step aside, the young Padawan, step aside. I got 75 of them done already. I got 100.
At least you got the dives in. I don't think I'm going to be diving for this slate, but I am going ham on the main, and hopefully we'll get to 150 by the time kickoff hits tonight.
Cool. Let's talk about some macros here before we get into the game by game and the player takes and the granular stuff. Nick, evergreen joke in the chat when it comes to primetime Palooza slates that, hey, I won this shit 2 days ago. Let's draft some NBA. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a evergreen joke out here because as the landscape shifts and things break positively in terms of news, there are some discounts or some price tags that are no longer available that were once available. And that most notably is a former Q tag on Drake London, and Darnell Mooney is down here with a Q tag as well. Both logged a limited practice yesterday. That Q tag then shifted to a probable for Drake London, which was interesting because they both logged limited practices. But yes, maybe that's just for contest integrity sake there. I don't know if there was a quote that I missed alongside it that like, hey, I'm going to play this weekend or something like that. But yeah, these were the two most notable, like kind of like wrinkles to the slate. yeah, just thoughts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a report that he expects to play
Okay.
for Drake London, so that's why he's probable. And yeah, but I wish I had done more when he was Q. I think I have like 2 Bijan London teams, but maybe that's not even like what matters. Like, is that even the combo that you need? Like, it's a rare combo, but like, is that what you need? Perhaps. I mean, they're both going to be heavily involved, but it's a tough matchup against Minnesota, anyways. That being said, I have a ton of Drake London, so
Okay.
very hard to ignore, especially if Mooney misses again, regardless of Mooney dressing or not. London, to me, is a very good pick, and he's to me like 1-2 turn, like really hard to not click.
Okay. Yeah, we saw the Bears do some work against the Vikings, despite the vaunted pass rush there and the switching of pressures that we constantly see from, or grown accustomed to seeing from the Vikings there. So it was primarily that scripted first drive or whatever that we keep going back to, that the majority of their damage was done. But Caleb was able to get free and make some plays there, and he missed a wide open DJ Moore. So this is potentially a defense that could be had in some regard. And the Drake London splits alongside Michael Penix are just out of this world bonkers right now. Like, he has tunnel vision for the dude in such a good forward thinking, fantasy friendly way. Like he didn't play the entirety of the game last time out, and he dropped, or maybe did not drop, that touchdown in the end zone that he landed on his shoulder and turned away from the camera, and you couldn't really see if it was a drop or not, like that led to the injury. But this guy led all expected fantasy point usage models all over the place, and he only played like 3/4 of the game, dude. So yeah, there's a lot to be excited about with that Penix London skinny stack in a decent way. Yeah, he's kind of a staple of the 1-2 turn now, and a lot of people are foregoing Samuel or Terry to go alongside their Jaden Daniels and just taking Drake London. What are your thoughts on that right now, Nez?
So what was what they're foregoing who to take who?
They're foregoing the stacks and taking London at 5 now that he's kind of there. What do you think about that, just as a macro? Like, are you trying to stack your Terry teams on the right hand side of the board, or are you trying to take London at a worse price tag than he was going previously?
No, I'm jamming London for sure. Every now and then maybe I'll stack Jaden, but like for the most part, I'm jamming London, and playing Jaden basically naked. If I can get him stacked, it's awesome, but I don't think it's like totally necessary. A lot of different ways Jaden can get home, especially via his legs, which is kind of like what you're hoping for, which obviously is of no benefit to his pass catchers.
Yeah. Well said there. Yeah, anything else you wanted to hit on? Just kind of like macro on the slate here. The tight ends are kind of like all bunched together. If you don't take Jaden, then it's kind of like a little fight over the skinny stacking of Love in the middle there. And then the last 2 quarterbacks kind of just like let them fall. It's kind of the alpha of the rooms, which is interesting because JJ McCarthy actually projects fractions of points better according to ETR than Jordan Love does. And there is quite a stark gap down to Michael Penix, whether you agree with that or not. That's just simply what I'm seeing on the ETR stuff. But yeah, just thoughts in general about room dynamics here. Anything else macro that you've been seeing?
Yeah, there's a lot of people going 2 tight ends, which leaves the last guy with Luke Musgrave or John Oliver, which is really not ideal. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but you really do need to pay attention if you're on the turns, either pick 1 or pick 4. If you're pick 1 and you are making your 4-5 turn pick, you definitely. I mean, sometimes you're at the 4-5 turn and you don't even have a tight end to pick, which is just super frustrating. And same with at the 4 pick where you're at the 3-4 turn. There's a chance that you don't have a tight end there. But like that's a little bit more rare. Definitely don't want to wait to the 5-6, in my opinion. It just depends, man, because it's just like if you have Luke Musgrave on your team, Yeah, he can catch a touchdown. I don't like the odds. Do not like those odds. It feels like you have a team with very low EV at that point. So something to be mindful of if you haven't drafted these yet and you're about to go in and you don't want to be left with Luke Musgrave. Give these tight ends a bump, and I think the ordering of these tight ends is also like pretty interesting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we could get into that when we do the position by position. I love the macro though, there, Nez, that it is really easy to get froze out at tight end, and unlike last primetime Palooza slate where we could kind of tell ourselves a story about the scroll the F down ones. Josh Oliver not practicing today with the ankle. Don't even know if he's going to be in there. Somebody named John Fitzpatrick actually basically ran the same amount of routes and whatnot as Luke Musgrave. We've jokingly made the Tucker Craft and Musgrave comp as like the Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews of our generation, where one was drafted above the other, then outplayed the other, and then the organization quickly made the switch and we're like, oh, okay, glad we drafted both. We done fucked up with the first one there. But yeah, I it's a name we know, and it's the reason why people click him over some of these back end guys. Yeah, the other stuff in terms of like if you get froze out, do you just take like an ownership discount on one of like the Washington guys? Like, is that something you would consider? Like, you just go John Bates or something like that?
Man,
yeah,
I suppose. I think I'd still rather do Musgrave because I at least saw him catch a pass in week one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just such a bad spot to be in if you get froze out. Like, it's at that point, what I've been doing is like, if I get froze out at tight end, like I'm taking like a super deep scroll for my flex and just like trying to hit a super crazy low owned like spike week from somebody that is like 1%.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. That's a good point. Yeah, like just you can kind of like in room dynamics admit that you're drawing dead in that isolated moment and just be like, well, I may as well double shoot the moon. Like I may as well just play like blow out Atlanta and Tyler Algier gets expanded garbage time run or Bijan injury or something like super gal brain like that.
I mean, yeah, I've taken it steps further even where I'm like Jalen Lane, Wicks, like I'm talking like 1% drafted guys because your teams with these tight with a Musgrave tight end just like I feel really bad about it. I feel really bad about having Luke Musgrave as a tight end when I do. So I'm like, well, let me just like really make this like a 1% outcome team with a 1% drafted player like that.
Okay. Guys, I'm looking at some of the fantasy life utilization score stuff here. And Nez, I would like you to guess the so they do provide a utilization score like out of 100 based on all of the metrics. Now, look, kind of a new feature that they have there on the premium side. I would like you to guess what John Bates' utilization report score was for week 1 out of 100.
I don't know if 0 is a score, but is it 1?
It's 6.
6. How the hell do you get to a 1?
I don't know, but ask Colson Yankoff. Ask Colson Yankoff. Amazing if he could ever get some burn for the home league team names you could create with Colson Yankoff. But yeah.
Unbelievable.
Pretty funny. I'm going to look at the Packers one real quick. 13 for Musgrave. John Fitzpatrick actually had the exact same one. Had a higher ADOT because his was 2, not right at the line of scrimmage. It was 2. I'd love to see it. Yeah. Long story short is getting froze out at tight end on this slate. You're seemingly drawing dead. Josh Oliver did have a catch last game on the first drive. Like it looked like a schemed up designed play for Josh Oliver. But if he doesn't go this week, I mean, yeah, you're kind of grasping at straws. And the problem with that Q tag is, there's no one really fun to swap into in that second game. All the auxiliary tight ends, not that they're fun by any stretch of the imagination, but all the auxiliary tight ends to swap into are actually tonight, not on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which is like a bummer for tight end.
Yeah. While we're talking injury and injury report stuff, obviously we're just getting first practice. It's weird with the split up slate where you get the Thursday and the Sunday. We only have Wednesday's practice reports to go off of for the Sunday night games there. Whole bunch of guys on it though. But the big one I wanted to point out was Christian Darrisaw, man, their best offensive tackle. He went a full practice after missing last week. And if you guys were watching that game and listening to the broadcast, they kept bringing it up how maybe the run game's not getting anything going in the first half here because their best offensive lineman is not there. He went full practice on Wednesday, so that's bullish. Some other bearish stuff, though. 2 concussions in the secondary. Jeff Okudah and Andrew Van Ginkel, who had that almost another one of those epic pick sixes where he jumps a route in the flat there. I don't know if you saw that, Nez. He got a hand on it, but just a classic play that we saw with Miami so many times there in the past. Those 2 are both questionable with concussions and did not participate, and they would have to clear protocol to play. Those are always dicey situations. So that defense could be, not looking so great there. And then Harrison Smith, their safety, he's got an illness right now and actually has a doubtful tag on him, according to the injury report, despite it being a limited practice, which I just found very odd. I mean, this Vikings team might be pretty banged up on the back end. Practice report giveth and taketh right now by boosting offensive line, but, best corner, one of their best linebackers, and their safety are all listed right now. So, yeah, I don't know. Pitch with a little context too here that Darrisaw also had a full practice last Wednesday and then went limited the rest of the week. So keep an eye on it there. Thank you for the context there, Pitch. Very astute point. Thank you. Nez, let's do the game by game and just talk about the 2 environments and then go position by position with our actual targets that we are all about here. I was kind of surprised at the total for the second game there. I thought offensive player of the week, NFC offensive player of the week, JJ McCarthy was going to get a little more love in the total department there, especially with it being a dome game. But
what is that one?
I got you. I'm getting.
What are you talking about? I want to see it.
That one is 44.5 with 3.5 by way of the Vikings at home on Sunday night, sculling it up there. Maybe Numi will be, in the stadium.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's circled this one in his calendar for 3 years. Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of surprised. I know the Falcons, didn't look amazing in week 1, but I just thought 2 offenses, some banged up guys on defense here. I thought it might be a little bit higher with the dome stuff there. Obviously, Minnesota, a tough place to play in terms of the noise for opposing offenses. But then this one, the outdoor game at Lambeau this evening, 49 and 3 by way of the Packers. So just thoughts on the totals and both the game environments there.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think of Falcons games at the moment. Like I have faith in their offense, but it is a little strange, especially with Mooney still banged up and London kind of banged up. It is kind of hard to project their offense, but it is not projected to be. I thought you maybe see 5.5 for the Vikings there. So that's kind of interesting. This one too, I think is more high scoring than I would have thought, given what we saw between Packers and Lions in week 1 in Lambeau on short rest too. Yeah, that's pretty intriguing. This is going to be a great game, I think.
I hope so.
Not a hot take, but it certainly seems like this is going to be an awesome game here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I certainly hope so. I think it has the makings to be a fun game this evening. Couple notes on the Washington side there that Noah Brown missed practice yesterday after LPLPs, but it was a non-injury designation. He was kind of like a scroll the F down potential target. Austin Eckler, 3 limiteds through the first week of the season. I don't know. He's just kind of old too, but I just thought I'd bring that one up because I found it a little interesting. 3 limiteds, but yeah, I anticipating them to be full go this evening there. Yeah, we kind of had the conversation with Packers wide receivers. Maybe we could circle back to the site and talk about them. I think this ADP has sharpened up a little bit comparative to the Monday times Thursday ADP there, Nez, would you say?
I mean, as sharp as it can be, it's super ambiguous, this slate.
Right.
Like,
Still.
there's not a whole lot of like easy decisions after a certain point. So like, I suppose like the tiers seem accurate, but you know.
Yeah, I was sorry, I kind of misphrased it. I was referring mainly to the Packers wide receivers compared to what we saw before with the Dobbs ADP. Now it's kind of pushed up on this slate compared to last, where he was a little bit of a free square in the 6th round last time out, and that's not really the case on this one.
Yeah, he's not a free square, but like he's definitely like goes later than where I have him ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Like ADP, he's 17.8 now. Like he's still behind Matthew Golden.
Right.
So
yeah,
that one I'm definitely not playing the ADP game on. I'm taking more dubs than I am Golden, but I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to get more Golden before lock because I have a pretty heavy Golden fade at the moment, and there's a chance that is just like short-sighted.
Cool. I want to bring up that situation for a second here, using the utilization report here and just showcase with everybody. Highest utilization score was Jayden Reed. Romeo Doubs was behind, but this does not fall directly in line with some of the snap count data. Like Romeo Doubs was out there at the X, 97% of snaps. Like that he was the guy who stayed on the field. Golden was at 66. Wicks was at 63. Jayden Reed was doing his in out kind of deal with 51% there. And then even Malik Heath was mixing in, and Savion Williams was mixing in as well, 31 and 9%. So there's a lot of places to go in terms of wide receivers here stacked with Love.
Yeah, it definitely feels like at any given point you could take a Packers wide receiver in these drafts, and I take a lot of them, so it checks out.
Cool. Pending where you're looking in terms of like that's the overarching game total that we looked at, that 49 or whatever. Implied team total is by way of the Packers with a 26 most places I'm seeing, 25 in a bit, 26 in a bit. That would be highest on our slate. The Vikings are then next with 24. Then it would go to the Commanders with 22 and a half, 21 and a half in some places, 22 and a half in other places. And then Atlanta has the lowest team total in terms of the slate with 20.5. So just putting a little numbers to context there. Nez, anything else macro game environment that you want to talk about? Anyone that's going to be more up tempo than the other? Anything that's suited for onslaught versus bring back, suited, like anything like that? Game that you want to be all in on, all out of, or anything?
I mean, I'm definitely playing a lot of different scenarios here, as like I plan on maxing or at least getting to 100 entries. And I'm like definitely worried about like I have a lot of Falcons right now, and I definitely like worry about them. Knowing that the Vikings are super banged up does make me feel a little better about that stance. Mm-hmm. I think really like what I'm playing for is Minnesota, and like Minnesota winning, leading that game, front running, and Jordan Mason kind of like having a really nice game. I love the way he looked in their first game. To me, he's like the guy there. If they're leading, like I think that he's going to be getting fed, and I kind of definitely lean towards a pretty convincing Vikings win here. So I'm definitely looking Jordan Mason's way. And then Commanders and Packers, I feel better that this total is so high. I do kind of worry that the Packers on a short week just like kind of give Jaden Daniels some trouble. I'm kind of surprised that this total is what it is. So like to me, the most likely outcome is like Jaden Daniels like with his legs, and I don't know. Like I'm trying to think about what a good offensive game looks like for the Commanders. Is it Terry like kind of like have like finally arriving?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Debo being heavily worked in? Is it the Bill game? Like where they are trying to attack via the ground here. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, as a volume drafter, I'm doing a lot of different things.
Sure. Yeah.
But
I think everybody's really excited to play Debo this week, just given that he had the electric carry that resulted in a touchdown, and he just looked good. He looked like old Debo, right? And he had the 10 targets. I think people are really looking forward to that. I think the blueprint for winning this ball game, we talked about this a little bit on Monday. I think the Packers, I think the Giants defense is like budget version of the Packers defense. Not a film bro, but like this would be kind of like my bro science hand in the dirt would be like they both win with pressure. They both win up front. It's patchwork secondaries, that sort of thing. So for me to paint the picture of Commanders win tonight and break the slate for us, it stems through Jaden times Terry, Jaden times Debo, something like that. More so than the Bill game.
Okay. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
It's one on the ground for Daniels, and it's like 2 in the air from like Terry deep or something like that. It's like a 585 and 2 for Terry, and that's how you break it.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Debo does have like a slight edge in pick'ems in terms of like receptions and receiving yards, but I think it could very easily be Terry here, right? When it's that close, it's a coin flip.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple things I want to hit on in the chat there. Cards, roll the tape back, and anybody who's just tuning in right now to the beginning, we did a big debrief on the Dawg Bowl pick'em stuff there. But the Google Sheet that you have to sign up for to be token eligible comes out on Saturdays. Saturdays each week. We'll retweet it. We'll put it in the Discord. We'll share it on socials, all that sort of stuff. But that one comes out on there. Our guy J Cam, welcome back, my friend. Been around for a long time, but he found the renew button. Love to see it. There gives you access to the After Dark stream this evening that Pete and Nez are going to do. No strip times After Dark superpowers. Boom, monster Dawg Bowl stream. Or that's tomorrow night. Sorry, I said tomorrow, right? Not tonight. Yeah,
I think you did.
Okay, cool. I don't know. I just kind of talk and lose my way all too frequently.
It is tomorrow night, though.
It is tomorrow night. Yeah, Nez, so that's interesting that what you're citing in the pick'em lobbies there with the I think we can move over to ADP here and talk about some of like the rankings disputes here. It is a very stark 1, 2, 3 tier right now with this Bijan, Josh Jacobs, and Justin Jefferson tier right now. A little bit of me is a little weirded out that we're taking Josh Jacobs above Justin Jefferson. But that being said, I'm not going to fight it from a VORP conversation standpoint. If you do not like the running back that comes back on the other side of the board or whatever, you want to build out some 1-1-3-1s and you want to have that anchor Jacobs at 2 there. But I think this is kind of like a not set in stone, but like this is like the tier in everybody's mind, is it not?
Yeah, like this is the first 3 picks. So you said you were kind of thinking Jefferson over Jacobs for you?
I don't know, man. I just get excited. I understand we play on a half PPR site. I understand that Josh Jacobs, his workload is immense. I also understand that Josh Jacobs has scored 1 receiving touchdown in his entire life. I know you don't need to only score receiving touchdowns, but I just he's a good, solid fantasy player. I just the path to like the have to have it break the slate score in my mind is usually like the archetype of Bijan and Justin Jefferson. Like there's no reason to think that Josh Jacobs couldn't have 2 scores on the ground tonight, go for 85 yards and 110 yards. Maybe I'm underselling him with the 85, score 2 touchdowns and be the high scoring running back on the slate. That's definitely range of outcomes. But I just think of like the have to have it slate breaking scores stem more frequently from Justin Jefferson than they stem from Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, totally fair. I'm definitely looking at it from a VORP standpoint, like you said, where he's gonna, projection wise, it feels bad to not take him too. But I've mixed it up. Sometimes I'll do Jefferson at 2, but for the most part, I'm keeping Jacobs at 2.
True. Oh, here we go. Travioli, false. He did get a receiving touchdown last week. There we go. So he's got 2 in his career now. Is that true? It was a receiving touchdown last week?
I wasn't locked into that game. I wasn't able to like watch that one intently. So
4-yard reception. Game logs. Josh Jacobs. No, it wasn't. Fucking liar. Never mind. Yeah, never mind. John still knows more ball. What a shock. What a shock that John still knows more ball than the chat. Unbelievable. Yeah, it was a rushing touchdown. 19 for 66 and 1. He caught 1 pass for 4 yards last time out. Chris Brooks was running some routes out there as well. Nez, this is where the draft board gets a little funky because we have the Drake London role looked so effing strong, but he's also dealing with the shoulder, and we know that combinations with the Q tag exist in like better patterns earlier in the contest. You have the Jaden Daniels conversation of, is he a big enough outlier and slate break potential player on the slate to prioritize quarterback on this slate? And then you have his 2 stacking partners, which is really hard to go between. Now, if you look at some external rankings, they will also tell you that like Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones belong in this tier. Yet on our site, they don't get treated as such. They almost always fall back to the left side of the board with the Bijan and or Josh Jacobs drafters there. So how are you treating this kind of like next big tier?
I've definitely given some thought to pulling up the Vikings running backs at the 1-2 turn, because for me it's like Daniels, London, or Jefferson, like because some like it's usually 2 of those 3 are there at the 4-5 turn. And to me, I don't know how Daniels isn't like a selection there. Okay. It's very, I think you're getting too cute doing anything else, but I may end up getting a little too cute just to differentiate, because I'm going to have like a million different starts of Jaden in London, or Jaden and Debo. Like it just seems tough to deviate from that.
Right. And I think everybody feels that way, but yet when you look at it, that's ADP and that's a list formation, and it's hard to break our brains like that. But there is a way in which Jaden Daniels breaks this slate, scores more fantasy points than anybody else on it, scores 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground, and he's worthy of the 101 if you wanted to go like densely exploitative on it. How about this idea here? A little bit gal brainy, because the quote unquote sharps and the projection bros on our site, the 150 maxers, are not going to have the cojones, the stones to do this, because they're just going to fall in line with their nice little projections there, Nez. What do you think about pulling Jaden Daniels to the 101 and building some quote unquote sharper lineups than the archetype of player that would pull Jaden Daniels to 101?
So like, trying to think what that would look like.
It basically opens you up to take 2 running back picks at the 1 or at the 8th pick and 9th pick, because the Jacobs drafter and the Bijan drafter have almost always filled a running back slot every single time at that front end of the board. So nobody there can double tap Jones and Mason or Mason and Bill or, some combo of those guys. But you also rarely get it on the right-hand side of the board because not both of them rarely come back to you, right? So if you did like Daniels, Mason, someone, and one of the tight ends on the left side, and then backfill the wide receiver slot, so it's like a little different than everybody else's builds.
Oh man, I like the idea. I don't know that I don't know that I could put it into practice myself.
Okay.
But like, it's definitely an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would for sure get some really unique builds that way.
I think it's a fun wrinkle tonight. I've done it once or twice already. I think it's a fun wrinkle because right now this is the most stagnant PTP slate I've seen and most rigid in terms of like the first 5 picks every single time. I am not seeing overly unique combinations until after pick 8. So I think it's kind of a fun slate to do so. Like and then if you want to double down on it with that same notion, you take one of the running backs at that pick, you take one of the tight ends at 9, and you take Tyler Algier with your last pick to direct leverage off the Bijan 101 teams.
You can definitely get that exact build if you want it.
Nobody wants it, baby. I'm taking it.
That's all you. That's all you. I'm not going to draft a lot of Tyler Algier tonight.
We out here. I mean, he had 10 carries in week 1, dude. 10 carries.
Any word on how many yards he gained?
The same amount of yards as every other running back in the league who had like 12 carries last week. I swear every single running back not named Travis Etienne, Bill, and Derrick Henry went 12 for 39 last week. He went 12 for 30. Every single running back on planet Earth had an awful yards per carry in week 1 outside of those 3 guys I named.
I mean, newsflash, everybody sucked on week 1, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Tyler Algier. I'm sorry.
Listen to this. Week 1, Tyler Algier, 10 for 24. Week 1, Bijan Robinson, 12 for 24.
Did he do anything in the receiving game? He must not have.
I didn't see that stat line. I didn't see that one.
Okay. Yeah. I heard a rumor that he went 6 for 101, but I don't remember.
I don't recall that part of the equation. Yes, my bad. Breece Hall eraser. Yeah, I'm sorry. Breece Hall was on that list as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna say this. It's very rare in primetime Palooza that you get 10 touches in the 6th round. Very rare.
I will not debate that.
Yeah. And we might have one tonight. Well, on Sunday night. Nez, let's talk about, that was kind of my gal brain front end of draft boards. Let's talk about some of the micro like debates here. What side of the fence are you on with Aaron Jones versus Jordan Mason? What side of the fence are you on with Deebo Samuel versus Terry McLaurin?
I'm Deebo over Terry, but it's definitely like a coin flip. But I lean Deebo, and I'm Mason over Aaron Jones as well.
Okay, cool. Will you take him over him, like in the room, in the lobby? Will you take Jordan Mason above, or is this like a, hey, I like him more, but I'm still playing the ADP game?
I will definitely take him over Aaron Jones.
Okay. I think Aaron Jones stacks better with JJ McCarthy. If you guys are building out a pass game one, obviously he had the wheel route that turned into pass interference, and then he had kind of like that out and up that turned into a touchdown where they just there was a really nice breakdown on it on social from Hayden and Josh's channel on social. Really nice like schematic breakdown of what took place on that play on the out and up for Aaron Jones. That's the wrinkle of Aaron Jones's game that is distinctly different than Jordan Mason's. Jordan Mason did look like he had that juice, though. He definitely looked like he had that juice on some of those touches.
Yeah, it seems like there's a pretty distinct plan of like, you know, keeping Aaron Jones rested and, you know, for these bigger plays, which I have no problem with. But yeah, if I'm trying to predict game script, I think Jordan Mason could end up like smashing.
Cool. All right. If you're playing the home favorite narrative, that Jordan Mason goes alongside there. Hopefully has a little bit more success at the goal line than he did last season, because that might have just been random variance, right? We've seen good quality running backs have bad success at the goal line and then come out and smash in the future, you know?
Right.
Let's talk about Washington, dude. Not a given that Chris Rodriguez will be inactive this evening, but I don't know why they would change anything up after week one there. McNichols is going to be active for his special teams role there. Austin Eckler, more snaps, more routes, less carries. Bill makes good on those 10 touches. I think it was 81 yards or something, 86 yards and a score there. He got fed the ball. I think it was 23 snaps that he played. He got the ball in his belly 10 times. Only ran one route, but that's not really why we're playing him. Is his ADP fair, fine, whatever? Because if you're playing the projections, you're definitely not going to be taking him at ADP 9. But do you believe the ball knowing angle here, Nez, or do you believe the hashtag models?
Man, I can like the models definitely have a projection that's in his range of outcomes, but I don't believe it to be his median.
Right.
Like I think they have a low median projection on Bill because they're always going to. But I definitely anticipate a ramped up workload for Bill as early as this game, where depending on what's going on in the game, they try to establish some sort of ground game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like you said, depending on where you look, Austin Eckler is going to project for more fantasy points. But I mean, be serious. Who has the higher ceiling here? The guy that's breaking off long run after long run, or Austin Eckler, who you're hoping for like just straight volume from him. Yeah, I think Bill's ADP is fair because I do think that he has a usage increase incoming.
Okay. Cool. Red zone opportunities for the team in week one there. Red zone opportunities classified as red zone passing, rushing, or receiving targets there. Jaden Daniels had 3 opportunities. Those were of the passing variety. Bill had 2. Austin Eckler had 2. Debo had 1. Noah Brown had 1. And Zach Ertz had the one that he made good on there.
Jeez.
So, yeah. Nez, that's probably a really good segue into what I think is the most, probably the second most hotly debated thing on the slate. I think Packers wide receivers is probably number 1, and then I think tight ends is probably number 2. We had the big conversation about trying not to get froze out of the quote unquote big 4 here with Musgrave. My guy Davis said, I believe it was yesterday on his program, that TJ Hawkinson is not a target earner. He said on the program there. Adam Thielen might be taking a little bit of that. Josh Oliver had one on the opening drive there that maybe goes to Hawkinson now if that Q tag turns to an out tag. But yeah, just thoughts on this, man. Kyle Pitts leading the way on this slate as tight end 1, though the projection models won't necessarily agree with it, but the opportunity share was huge. I did not look into the splits, Nez, of the opportunity share of whether there was a big spike after London went out, because effectively Kyle Pitts was out there with Ray McLeod and fuck if I know who else kind of deal.
Casey Washington.
Because who was it?
Casey Washington.
Casey Washington. Yes, of course. Casey Washington, of course. My apologies and respects to Casey's family. But yeah, there was no Mooney and no London for a good portion of that game. And is that in artificially inflating the box score in which we saw from Kyle Pitts? Is he our tight end 1 on this slate?
I mean, he's not mine, but I take him tight end 1 sometimes. I thought Kyle Pitts looked good.
I thought he looked good too. I will agree with you there.
Yeah, I thought I thought he looked good when he had the ball. He saw a good amount of volume. I prefer Tucker Kraft, but
okay.
Yeah, I think Pitts is definitely one to keep an eye on, especially if Mooney misses again. Definitely an interesting one. Oh, dude.
Definitely.
Fucking Brie, like burning something. Jesus Christ, dude. I need to like open a window in here. Sorry, like I'm trying to make sure a fucking smoke alarm doesn't go
off. Our guy Bound saying that Pitts looked really good last weekend. I do tend to agree. I did see some juice in the limited red zone opportunities to seeing him, and the going back and watching the condensed version of every game, as I'm prone to do. I did not go and watch the all 22 and such. Actually, all 22 no longer available in Canada, dude. Crazy weird.
What?
Yeah. So you can't purchase when they switch to like YouTube TV and stuff like that, this company called DAZN, like DAZN,
Yeah.
like DAZN or whatever, they bought up like the monopoly right for streaming, and they're dog shit. They're awful. I had wars on Twitter with them so many times about how bad their product was, but you basically have to buy them to get full access to all the games and to Red Zone. And yeah, they axed the all 22. So you just can't get the all 22. You can't get like the NFL all package or whatever. So when we were at Dawg Bowl last year, I was actually sitting with Norris watching him break down the all 22 and show me the camera angles that they get that I don't get anymore, because I used to love to watch the all 22 like 5-6 years ago out of like just general interest, like the no commentary, the no sound, the flash, the scoreboard. Oh fuck, I loved it. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah, all 22 is sick, man.
Yeah.
I don't watch it, but yeah, it's fun when people post the clips for me.
Oh, it's great. It's so great. Yeah. Oh, missed this. 18 holes for lunch from our guy Bound, and a little meat missile at the turn.
Don't need to pull this up. Don't need to pull
Love
it up.
Love it. Are you kidding me? That's a lifestyle I can get on board with. Yeah, dude. So if you're looking at we're talking fractions of fantasy points when it comes to projections and separating these players. Like ETR with Kraft is like 9 point something. Hawkinson's 8 point something. Ertz is 7.6 or whatever. It's literally who finds their way to the end zone is the ability to separate on this slate. But there is a huge drop off after the big four. I just find it very interesting that when you look at ETR stuff, it's basically as if you flipped all of the ADP on its head here. As you pointed out, Tucker Kraft, highest game total, highest team total, and he goes third on this list. He's very easy to stack with Love in those middle rounds, like the 3-4 there. Is that a priority for you then, Nez, to get over on Tucker Kraft this evening?
Yeah, he's my tight end one. Yeah. I have a bunch of them.
Yeah. And then do you like Hawk, Pitts, or Ertz next?
Definitely Pitts.
Okay.
And then I go Hawk, Ertz after that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's essentially like fourth round hits, and it's basically tight end time, because the guys that go after them I think are totally fine, and I'm not trying to get Luke Musgrave on any more teams than I already have him.
Yeah, no, I feel that, my friend. I want to talk to you about a game theory element associated with a primetime Palooza that sets up just like this. Okay. Are you ever concerned that all of your builds are over funneling to stacking your tight end with your passer, and you're not getting enough combos of just the one-off tight end being like, hey, Tucker Kraft's the guy you need tonight, but you didn't need Jordan Love. You need JJ McCarthy from tomorrow or from Sunday night or something like that. Does that enter your mind, or do you stay with your correlation patterns?
I don't think about stacking at all. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Like a lot of times I just get it because people avoid my pass catcher or my passer with my pass catchers. I'm not I would bet I have Love on 30% of my Kraft teams, maybe. It's not something I'm thinking about when I build my PTP teams personally. I've seen too much weird shit happen in these to funnel to stacking. That's not, right. It's definitely not my MO on this one, at least.
Yeah, because I find myself anecdotally overfitting to the narrative of okay, I took Hawkinson in the third. I prioritized that. Now, instead of taking Penix with my last pick, it's got to be taking JJ in the 5th to not get froze out because I want that correlation. Like I think I overfit the narrative sometimes where it's like, well, I took Kraft, like, okay, now there's only, Dobbs and Wicks left on the board for me. Well, this has to be a love team. It doesn't make sense otherwise. Whereas you're kind of like playing the projection a little bit different.
Yeah, these quarterbacks can like you can. There's just a lot of different ways that different build types can get home, especially on this slate. I think quarterbacks can end up being like not separating, but
Right.
like very possible the tight end separates even with quarterbacks not separating. And
Yes,
yeah,
well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, range outcomes associated with that.
Mhm.
Couple questions here. Where do you get the snap count, target rate, etc. data? A lot of it is on the premium version of Fantasy Life. Very reasonable price point. You can use promo code Pete at sign up there for that one. Go check out Fantasy Life. The utilization report is primarily where we pull a lot of it. There is some free snap count data stuff on like Football Guys. Can drop a link in the chat there for, this is where I was just pulling those red zone numbers for Washington. So there's just a one isolated example there. James brings up a really good point here. Usually my tight end stacks are forced because other drafters are trying to correlate, which kind of plays into my question there, Nez, where it's like if everybody's overfitting the correlation narrative, isn't there value in doing what you're doing in terms of like just jamming the projection uncorrelated in these contests?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
We call it the A-win. We call it the A-win for a reason,
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I'm not it's not something I'm not thinking about other people when I'm doing that. It's just like how I'm trying to put things together. Now, if there was a really bad quarterback on QB4, right? Like that one that projects really poorly and I don't have faith in, maybe then I won't maybe then I'll care a little bit more. But because like I like all the quarterbacks here, I care less to the point where I'm not thinking about it. And if it happens, it happens.
Right. Okay. Cool. Naked QB to get different. All 4 with a little bit of rushing upside in this one. I'd say Love probably has the least amount of rushing upside of the bunch.
Yeah, Love is interesting because he's QB2 and who knows if that's even correct.
Right. Yeah, ETR says it's not. So there's that. I mean, we're talking fractions of fantasy points again, but yeah.
Yeah, what sucks is he's like an expensive QB2. It's like you kind of have to go get him. Sometimes he falls if you're in the right room.
Yeah, you got to force your Love stuff if you want to do it. Zachary, it used to be free. Utilization report was free the first year they ever ran it, and then since partnering with PFF and yeah, it's part of their premium package now. Cool. Anything else you want to hit on? I guess we should really have the conversation about Packers wide receivers, and then we should just rip a couple drafts here.
Okay.
Yeah, J-Cam saying Nez saying my Love, Dobbs, and Reed teams have
That's
no
not what
chance.
I'm saying, baby.
That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. Let's not misinterpret what's going on there. We're kind of talking about different avenues and macros, and it sometimes gets lost in the shuffle, the micros. Yeah, let's talk about this, dude, because Jaden Reed has the highest ADP of the bunch. And then it kind of goes with this Matthew Golden and Dobbs beside each other with the exact same. And then if you want to go scrolling, you got Wicks down here, you got Savion Williams, you got Malik Heath who mixed in. Yeah, so let's just, I guess, kind of focused on the top 3 there, Nez. Do you like it as ordered, or do you like Dobbs more than the group? What do you like?
No, I go Reed, Dobbs, Golden.
Okay. So you like Dobbs more than Golden there. Yeah. I mean, based on what we saw in week 1, absolutely. Just from a usage standpoint. That being said, would it shock anybody that Golden comes out, rookie takes the next step and, plays 75 this week, cuts into some other guys there. Jaden Reed, short week, his foot isn't feeling as fresh and good as it was beforehand. It wouldn't shock anybody if any one of these guys catches a touchdown this evening, right? Or it shouldn't shock anybody.
No, for sure. Like I definitely, it's a goal of mine for the rest of the day when I draft to like force myself to get a little bit more Matthew Golden, because I've been Dubs over Golden comfortably. So I want more Matthew Golden just from a portfolio standpoint. Don't want to be as low as I am on him right now. I think I'm at like 12%.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, for what it's worth, like the hashtag models will agree with you. Like ETR has a projection on Romeo Dobbs at 9, Jaden Reed at 8.7, and then they have Golden at 6. It's a 2-point discrepancy there. Now we know that can all be changed on one play, right? Like projections in football are so effing fragile because we're dealing with binary outcome results relative to the way projection inputs go. Whatever, we do a whole chapter on it in the masterclass there. So yeah, range outcomes here is you're going to be wanting to mix and match the vast majority of it. I think we've said more than enough on the slate here, Nez. It's time to hop in.
Yeah, let's put it to practice.
Yeah, I hope we roll the 101 so we can flip this motherfucker on its head for the people.
104, here it comes. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Good Boy, let's go. Mr. Good Boy got too jacked up for that one.
Yeah. He said, what the hell? Let's go. All right.
We're going to the park, baby.
Jaden Daniels here, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give the people the look. We look around this room right now. We see Inthrius, Dawg Bowl participant in NBA there. We see Vindy P, who scooped the leaderboards in MLB the other night. And then we go with CFT with a nice badge there, some goat horns. We know he can ball. We flip it all on the MF and head in front of them right now.
So I can't wait to see what this looks like because I don't have the stones to do Jaden Daniels 101.
This is the IQ meme, Nez, of the fish side of the IQ meme, all the way on the left hand side. Guys, as you guys can see right now, I have the ETR projections in the solver here. I have not messed with the variance in terms of projection for this, so it's going to be like very tried and true to their projection on the suggestions this time. You guys can see this nice little matchup thing in the middle here. We're going to flip it on its head here. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take Jaden Daniels at 1. So dumb that it's sharp.
Everybody, I hope everybody's watching because you're about to see the winner get drafted on stream here. Inter is about to draft a fucking shipper.
He gets Terry plus. This is good.
So we get no stack.
This is perfect. This is exactly what we want, dude. Nobody else is doing this.
This is all you. I want you to take me through this.
Okay. We could do the Algier, like I said, but I think we're going to play Aaron Jones, a little bit of passing game there. We're going to push Ertz as our stack partner. Ertz is going to come back to us. We're going to take Bill here because my guy, Davis Maddock, comes in the chat, tells me that the S words 110-1 tonight. Introducing a little bit of negative correlation in needing both of those guys to score on the ground this evening, though.
I'm definitely pro Bill, man. I'm pro. Like, I think this ADP is sharp by like understanding. Nah, this dude's efficient. Let's anticipate a roll increase, and let's ignore the fact that the Underdog Pick'em lobby projects Bill for 7 fantasy points.
Right. Okay. So Ertz comes back to us, which is like, as we've talked about, that end of the tier. Have to do it. And then we got 2 wide receiver spots to fill. One is going to probably be a scroll the F down of the onslaught variety. So I think we got to play Matthew Golden as a 2 score on the other side there. The projection models are going to tell you Mooney. They also don't know that Mooney has the Q tag. Mooney didn't have a preseason, and Mooney could be limited in terms of snaps on his first time out there. We go ahead and take Golden here, and then we're going to scroll the F down with our last pick.
Can I see the board real quick?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No, you're good. I just want to see what you're allowing to happen here.
Nothing crazy, man. It's a sharp room, so there's nothing crazy to happen.
Yeah. All looks fair.
It's all fair. It's all whatever. Like, the biggest thing that can happen that makes it like quote unquote. Okay, so now how would you land this plane? Last pick here.
Well, I mean, what wide receivers are there? Because it has to be a wide receiver.
It's Noah Brown's the answer, my friend.
Well, yeah. I mean, I gave him the flag plan of scroll down of the slate. Last time he was on the PTP. I'm waiting for those chickens to come to roost tonight. I scroll down to Noah Brown, even on this one.
Love it. We go full Washington onslaught. Commanders go Burr. Jaden Daniels throws for 2. Bill Krosky Merritt taps off the job with 100 on the ground and a score. There we go. And then we go Aaron Jones from the other game environment. Matthew Golden is the only player to score 2 touchdowns on the other side for the Packers.
I'll be honest, I like this team, but like if we look at the draft board here, let's say, let's say you really like Jaden Daniels, but you don't want to go exploitative. You could basically draft this same team. So from the 4 hole, you start Jaden Daniels, Aaron Jones.
Yep.
Maybe Bill comes back to you. He might not. But then you can do so basically what I'm saying is like doing this at the 1-1. What do you gain? Is it just having Aaron Jones and Bill and hoping that that's rare? Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the leverage is that Daniels, Jones, and Bill doesn't exist a whole lot together. And then the other lever you pull is when you're on the right-hand side of the board, nobody takes Golden over Reed, and nobody is forced to scroll to Noah Brown. So you introduce like 2 other combos that are worse projecting variables of change. Because if you do this from the right-hand side of the board, you're not going to take these guys. You're going to take the guys who slightly project better.
And one thing I'll give you too is like probably ran bad not getting a single commander wide receiver to come back to you, but like, they do appear to be like, like that, like we talked about, like that first 7 does appear to be kind of set in stone. Mm-hmm. I think you're better off pulling Jaden Daniels up to 2 or 3 if you do want to get silly. Would be my take. Like, I love that we did this. I had fun doing this with you, brother. I think that this is like something that you shouldn't do. And then I think 2 or 3 probably makes more sense if you were like, Jaden Daniels is the guy. I feel so strongly about that because, man, if Jaden Daniels is the guy, like he's either running for 2 touchdowns here or, Jaden Daniels, Terry. I guess it's not improbable, but yeah, just my thoughts. But I love that we did it.
Yeah, I think the other one small piece of leverage is Daniels getting home without Terry and Debo because almost so many of so Daniels goes 25% of lineups he's going to be in tonight. Of that 25%, what percent of Daniels lineups are tethered to Debo or Terry?
$75% of them, maybe 60% of them.
Yeah, I would guess even higher than that.
Well, because a lot of them are getting like Drake London with him.
Now they are. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, a lot of people are doing the London thing first now.
Yeah, like I find it tough to pass on Drake London, knowing that he has 2 pass catchers. It could be spread out. Plus he runs. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I do need to take a closer look at my Jaden Daniels teams. Is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, like just in terms of combos, they're almost all the same.
Yeah, I'll have to do a little Control F Daniels on the completed tab.
Yeah, so there's going to be a better way to do it, and maybe 102 is probably the spot that's better to do it then.
You could try it again from 3 if you wanted to, or we could do, try something new.
Yeah. I'm going to try it here. We'll see. See what happens. The weird part about trying it from 3 is the guy on the end, like Chris, he never gives you London or Jefferson back. So you just make the same combo that everybody else makes. unless you pull up Aaron Jones or Jordan Mason.
Yeah, but like, what's the?
Right.
I'm sorry, but like, what's the difference of doing that to 1-1? You know what I mean?
The other 5 players that get added to it.
Okay.
Yeah. The uniqueness combos take place later in the board. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's good
I'm
on
trying
the
to make
slate
sense
or
of
not.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's good on the slate or not. I just thought it was fun.
No, it is. It is. Like, I like talking about it.
Okay, let's do Jefferson. Maybe the best way to play Jaden Daniels is when Chris goes London plus pass catcher here, and you get him with your Jefferson teams. Like that's just the nutted way to play it.
See, like this is what I see like all the time.
Yeah, this is like the same over and over again for the projection jamming crowd. Who do you like first here?
I like Debo mostly, but like which Vikings running back do you think pairs better with Justin Jefferson? Maybe it's like a dumb question, but like if Justin Jefferson's getting work, does Jordan Mason pair better? If like maybe he's fast start, then it's the Jordan Mason show after, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess the thesis it hinges on, is this a JJ McCarthy team or not? Because if it's a JJ McCarthy team, I would say Aaron Jones and they each catch one. You know what I mean? If it's not a JJ McCarthy team, it's Jordan Mason, and Jordan Mason pounds one in, he catches one, and another quarterback separates on the slate.
Yeah, I hate like thinking like it has to be a run back, but I almost think it has to be a run back when you do something like that, where like the pace is being pushed for Minnesota.
What do you think about Bill here as end of tier, or do you like something else?
No, I think it's got to be Bill or Eckler personally.
Okay. You're not going to battle with a 1-1-3-1 with Tyler Algier at running back? You
could.
Nobody separates on the slate.
I have a single RB Monangai team in the bomb that's about to get knocked out of the cash line, so that's fun.
Spicy marks. Dude, I think if we don't want to get caught with our pants down, these guys can't take running backs. They have to take tight ends or wide receivers. I think they're both going to take a tight end. I think we take Hawk.
Yeah, you could. I think Hawk makes more sense. You could do either one, but I think Hawk makes more sense.
Yeah, we got a little 2-man Washington, 2-man Vikings thing going on here. Probably sets up best to be a JJ team.
The one thing I will say is like I do think that it's like something that people don't think about, where when you have a rushing QB like Jaden Daniels, it kind of like makes sense to have taken like Ertz there, where like he's actually like passing, and he's not getting yards on the ground and being more efficient fantasy wise, and he's actually like, it's his teammates getting more production. That actually pairs okay without Jaden Daniels, because a good Jaden Daniels fantasy game is on the ground, and that directly impacts his teammates negatively. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot, but I don't mind the Hawk pick here because it sets us up for a double, of course.
Yeah.
Which we will have if we want it.
Yeah, I think we're going to want it unless we do like Mooney Penix, but I don't, Mooney goes. I don't really see like the merit in it.
Yeah. He's screwed out of tight end, Seedmeister. Don't need to go tight end here. Golden is the best pick. You want to do Algier because you're in on it?
I want to do Algier. I want to get different out here. I think the golden one will be duped too. Like just looking at the boards and looking at the combos and how we stayed in our lane and didn't change much. Not that duped is necessarily bad on our site. If it wins, it wins. And you probably want like a portion of it as part of your portfolio. But I think I want to fuck around, find out like Minnesota blows the brakes off of them and Algier scores the only touchdown on the other side narrative.
Yeah, a lot of different ways that gets home. You obviously just need a touchdown from Algier, and it's not a crazy ask.
Sounds good. JJ McCarthy, Bill, Algier, Justin Jefferson, Deebo Samuel, and TJ Hawkinson. Kind of a fun one there. I'd be embarrassed to chop first too. It's a great point. We did write a good segment about that in the masterclass there for people to go enjoy, about like dupes on our site versus dupes on other sites, and how sometimes dupes here is fine and good, and dupes are usually just bad on redacted in general. Yeah. This is an interesting one from Chad. Chad Candle's coming in. If you guys actually haven't seen him, he streams some of the stuff in the mornings there. Go check him out. Same name on the Twitterverse there. Been streaming some stuff. But Jones plus Mason, kind of in that Monty and Gibbs role there. You know, nobody else separates. We can't pick the we can't pick the difference in a running back out of Washington, for instance, and both the Vikings guys outscore. Thoughts on that one, Nez?
No, I think it makes a lot of sense. Like this backfield, I think, is going to be heavily involved in games, especially without Jordan Addison to start. And it could easily be tonight. I like that shout a lot, honestly. And speaking of the masterclass, like you were talking about there, Pete, I believe, just added his week 2 scrolls to the masterclass, which is like a weekly thing that he's doing for members. So definitely check that out if you guys are course members, because that's where Pete's gems are right now.
Last year he did the gems as part of the newsletter and part of the Deposit Kingdom video channels. They no longer reside there. He's just doing it as a 1-page article as part of UnderdogMasterclass.com. Chad was a BR winner. People forget. I forgot. My bad. Got to put some respect on that.
Damn straight, baby.
John loves to give Josh Allen and Derrick Henry teams. Hey, man, if you're out here playing low volume in PTPs, you got to fuck around and find out, man. You got to do something that the field isn't doing. And we just did it on display for you guys. Nez, what do you think we rip one more and then take a peek at some unabated pick'ems and some from the cojones, from the stones pick'ems, and call it a show, man?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's rip some.
Do you have any baseball takes for the people today? We got 5-game baseball slate. Have you taken a peek?
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I played the shit out of the slate on Tuesday. I got almost 50 entries in there. Played the $100 one for the first time in a long time. And then kind of fell off the last 2 days as we've been doing BRs and Dawg Bowls and PTPs, and more football to come your way tomorrow. But yeah, fun 5-game slate. That Yankees and Detroit game means quite a bit. Mets and Phillies doesn't mean a lot for the division, but just means a lot for the Mets prospects going forward. Mariners are getting the Angels at home, and they're a game back on the Astros. And then we got the Padres as like the mega chalk on the slate. Padres and Yankees as like mega chalk on the slate. I was kind of surprised to see the run totals in Guardians and Royals being decently high. I actually thought that would be a little bit more of a clunker than it was or appears to be. So yeah, it's kind of the macro there. Nez, we rolled the 103 again here. If we are the projection slappies, in which we are, we're just going to take Justin Jefferson or Jacobs here. Jacobs falls to us at 3, which is somewhat rare, I would say. Should we just do it and see if we can get, a London combo or something?
Yes. Yeah, you got to take Jacobs.
Sounds good. Take Josh Jacobs here, really solidify that running back position. If you had to pinpoint the winning build on this slate, Nez, what would you pinpoint it as?
Probably 1-2-2-1.
1-2-2-1, with any emphasis on any particular players or stacking. The chalk corner.
I think probably a Jacobs team. It's like one where Jacobs falls to 3.
Okay. You want to fuck around and find out with one of the running backs here, or do you want to take one of these Washington pass catchers?
Yeah, let's do one of these running backs.
You like Mason more than Jones, or you like Jones?
I like Mason more than Jones.
All right, let's fuck around and find out. show people what it happens on this side of the board. This combo is going to exist from the 2-hole ad nauseum, because what's going to happen is, I think from a combo standpoint, I might have preferred Jones there from a Mason than Mason, because Mason occasionally comes back at 11, or he's going to be paired with Jacobs at 10 a lot there. Yeah, it's a fun little start there from the 102. Now, yeah, what do you like setting up here? Does Tucker pair well with this? Does Hawk or Pitts pair better with it? Golden or Dogs?
Hawk or Kraft could be an option here. What I'm thinking here is like just completely Xing out Falcons from this one and saying that it's like the Vikings show, Jordan Mason show, and Falcons get nothing going in this one.
Jordan Mason show. Okay, then I think it pairs best to do this and then take Love next.
Yeah, I agree.
Because McCarthy plus Mason feels way worse than McCarthy plus Jones. And if you don't prioritize quarterback with our next position here, someone's going to stack Love and then someone's going to stack JJ, and we're going to be left with the Falcons' decision.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
Lack thereof decision at that point. Okay, so we'll take Love here. We will hope that Josh Jacobs then records his second career receiving touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's fun, man. I mean, like, to me, that Mason pick tells a story, and building around it makes sense.
Jacobs at 3 is not rare when Daniels goes at 1. Jacobs at 3 is rare after giving someone that exact same option.
Usually it's done with Jefferson.
Yeah.
Just
you guys gotta fucking zoom out and have some fun out here, nerds. McCarthy goes there to this onslaught of the Vikings variety here. I guess we're gonna want to add another pass catcher, and Golden makes sense.
Yeah, Golden is like a lock button for this team.
Okay. And then you hope Mooney comes back, or you said you want to not play that angle and we would take like Thielen or Naylor or something like that.
If Mooney came back, like, that's hard to turn down. It's the last pick. And you can swap to Ray or a Minnesota receiver if he doesn't suit up.
Is Ray playable on his own, or is he just a swap option for you?
I think he's playable on his own.
Did we explode?
Yeah, you're frozen. There? Okay, we're back. I was looking for you to move. We've both exploded. Yeah, I think I'm Mooney. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Yeah. Ray's pretty clean swap if you get caught with him not going there. Mm-hmm. But is there any love for Ray just in general?
No, yeah. I do think that you can play him on his own. He's out there, like, he's running a shit ton of routes. So,
dude, Casey Washington played 95% of snaps. Nobody's drafted him yet.
Damn. Wowza.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, clean swap, even though he went before. He did go before in this draft when I exploded there. That's what was taking place.
Most of the time.
Yeah, Noah Brown. We took Noah Brown in that first one.
Yes, we did.
Okay, let me tap in here 1 second to ATL for a second, because we kind of played them as like super concentrated in our minds here. Casey Washington is in concussion protocol with a did not participate.
All right, he's out.
Yeah, I mean, we got to wait and see, because the concussion protocol has been different the last 2 years in terms of how it played out, because the concussion stuff 2 years ago, remember, we could have just penciled them in for automatic 1 game missed was kind of the thing. And then it shifted a little bit last year. Do you recall that, Nez?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that was like. I mean, I think that was just like variance. You know what I mean? Like, I
Sure.
don't know. I think his way. I'm always going to bet on a guy in concussion protocol in the middle of the week not to play.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So there's 95% of snaps for Casey Washington gone. Shoulder injury to London. Mooney shoulder injury, hasn't played in forever. Like hasn't even really like training camp and stuff like that. Man, that Atlanta total starting to make a little more sense. What if they just come out heavy ground game? What if they come out heavy? Hey man, Algier and Bijan show. What do you think?
That could be the case, man. I mean, it seems like London's going to be all right, but I don't even know who they have at behind Casey Washington.
I don't know, man. Last
Kadero
week
Hodge.
it was. Oh yeah, Kadero Hodge had a walk-off win last year, didn't he? I think he had a walk-off winning touchdown last year. Yeah. David Sills the fifth. Jamal Agnew. Remember Jamal Agnew?
Oh yeah.
Jamal Agnew out here. Huh. Anyways, too far down the rabbit hole there. Jamal Agnew and Ray McLeod Spider-Man meme pointing at each other for sure.
Yeah, Ray kind of made himself a bit of a legit wide receiver 3, but yeah.
Yeah. Ray Hodges and Sills. Yeah, seems like 19 target game there. Yeah. Hodge did have the walk-off touchdown. Len Keith versus the Bucks. Fuck, man. Some guys just fucking remember ball out here. Some guys, man. Interesting question from Troy. I'm sure you guys will dive into this tomorrow. But leverage play of Worthy with the Q tag in the late window game there. We talked about limited swap options. People are going to be chasing the Hollywood Brown and Kelsey, but nobody else. If Worthy does end up playing this weekend, he was catching balls today, allegedly. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he plays.
Okay.
Dude, there's people on my lawn, and I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Dude?
Big get off my lawn energy right now.
They're literally like working on my shit, and like, I have no. God, dude. I have no idea who. Like, anyways, I'm just like very confused.
Oh,
did not think that this was happening right now, but okay.
Yeah.
They told me 2 weeks. Whatever.
Lil Dodger asking how the swaps work, star method or rankings. Made a whole video on it last week in the masterclass there. Walked people through my primetime Palooza swaps from last week. But I will tell you that just doing the rankings tab right here, you just set these up here prior to 1 minute before kick. If you adjust them after kick, they will not happen. Nothing will happen. It'll be locked and set in stone forever. It has to be in this tab prior to kick or in drafts completed and then swap rankings right here in here. And once you save them either here or there, they will be both saved in the same spot. So, that's all we got on that one. Nez, anything of the pick'em variety? I will ask you just for this evening if we want to just play like a little bit of a core for the Thursday nighter.
Yeah, let's put something together.
Okay.
I would start with Bill for sure.
Oh, baby. So we're playing projection bros, don't know shit, ball knowers know, Bill's toting the rock tonight.
Yes, he is.
All right. I won't fight you on that, my friend. Let's do it. Let's be ahead.
Can you expand on the more picks there? I want to see what else we got for old Billski.
Fantasy points looks kind of fun at that 7.75 there. 2.5 on the receiving yards, 1 on the reception there. I'd probably steer clear of receiving based stuff. Rush attempts at 9.5. It seems a little high, to be honest. I think I would play it as the yardage or the fantasy points myself.
What's he for his touchdown? 1-3.
Same as last week, yeah. Honestly, I don't really love the touchdown idea because I think he has to kind of like score a little bit from distance because they just use Jaden so much.
I don't know, man. I think he's got a goal line. I think he's got a goal line roll.
Okay.
But
you want to play touchdown, we'll play touchdown.
Getting there. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's the most fun way to play it.
It's definitely the most fun. Sorry, I'm doing on the unabated stuff on the side here. All right, Bill falls into the end zone this evening in dramatic fashion. 32 yards, dives for the pylon. Picture this.
Oh, we're getting updates in real time.
Yeah, we are getting updated in real time. So let me give this a little refresh here. Okay, we still got the Bill one in there. What else is popping out to you there, Nez?
Wow, dude. Jacob's rush attempts is 19.5.
Wow. I just lost Jacob's rush attempts. I'm just going to give it another one here.
It's a lot. Wow.
That is a lot. He had 19 last week. Yeah, I don't even have it now. What's going on here? Okay, give me 1 second here. See what's going on. Unabated. Market-based stuff. Little bit of edge on lower receiving yards for Deebo Samuel. A little bit of an edge on lower receiving yards for Dontavian Wicks. A little bit of an edge on lower rushing yards for Austin Eckler. But honestly, not much edges. Nothing crazy. The best one is Deebo lower receiving.
Okay. Let's look at the Packers side of things here. Mm-hmm. Tucker Kraft is like one of my favorite Packers tonight.
Okay.
In terms of what you want to do with that.
Let's just play the fantasy points.
Man. Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
Let's just play. Yeah, play the fantasy points. It gives us an out at getting in the end zone. It gives us an out at volume. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Micah Parsons, 2.5 tackles and assists. Kind of fun. I don't know if he's going to play like a full allotment. He didn't play a full allotment the first week, but yeah. Also makes sense if we don't get Doc to do the Austin Eckler lower. Jerry points out. It's a good shout.
I think something with Jaden Daniels on the higher end is feels incredible.
Okay.
I'm thinking like yardage here.
Passing yards?
That probably feels the safest. What are his rushing yards at like 47?
Yeah, let's do this. All right. Jaden Daniels higher on the passing yards, Bill higher on the touchdown, and Tucker Kraft on the fantasy points because he can get there in multiple ways. What is going on right now? There we go. Okay. Share that one with everyone. And then maybe we could do a cheeky little slide one here. It was a completions one from Dave, liking that one.
21.5.
21.5 on the completions there, Dave. 70 plus rushing yards.
Ooh,
if you slide,
that's a fun slide.
100-yard slide on Bill is 10x. Dude, that's not crazy. Is that for real?
100-yard slide.
Dude. Fuck around, find out. That's the best one I've heard yet. That's the best one I heard yet. Bless you.
Fuck, I missed the mute. God damn it. I try to get that like at the buzzer before I let go. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I'm doing this before it gets taken away from us. I had to just veto your input as you sneezed.
Wicks lower.
Mika. Okay. Mika Parsons. Fuck off.
That's worse than Michael Parsons.
Love pass attempts with rushing, Adam's saying. You play like they're throwing, Jaden's not running, and Bill's closing it out because they passed well in the beginning. Like the thesis.
Mm-hmm. I think I like a Jordan Love pass touchdown slide.
Walker tackles. Let's see this. Tackles and assists with the Jaden completions. Did we like completions or the yards? Who said it in the chat there? Pass attempts. Pass attempts for
that would make sense.
31.5 pass attempts, and then Love to tie the whole bow on this story is Love multiple touchdowns or multiple yards?
Multiple touchdowns.
2.5.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's a fun one. All right. Community times Nez. Love it. And it tells a good story there. Exactly. You know, Love throws for 3 touchdowns, which forces Jaden to pass. And then Jaden's passing a shit ton, which means defense is on the field and Walker's making a bunch of tackles because of it. That's a good story.
That's a story I can get behind.
That's a very, very reasonable story for this evening. Love it, man. Hope this game plays to the total tonight, guys. I got to do some work on some more stuff. I'm still working through the contest selection stuff. Actually, really weird. If you want to have this open forum right now, as I'm working through the contest selection stuff, we do not have all the wonky payout structures and formats that we had in the past, which made it very easy to X certain contests out and give advice based on bankroll. They've kind of done away with that, which is bullish for all players, regardless of bankroll size, is what I would say. And there's less like cross out for crazy variance contests right now, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 3rd and long, I think used to be really top heavy, and it wasn't. Which I'm like you said, like I'm personally in favor for. I'm more likely to play something like that. Yeah,
and the winner takes all. You know, that hasn't existed right now. There's also the cover 4 or like the cover 3 or whatever that used to be. Yeah, what was the one that you said? Cover
3.
Cover 3. Yeah. Cover 3. That format, as you alluded to, changed up. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, walking through it right now. On the back end, guys, something's going to be up in the masterclass in due time. King Chief 88 telling us Ertz receptions in Q1. He's got the game script, dude. He has the playbook of what the scripted plays are going to look like in the first there. Love it, dude.
That's something when somebody says it, you just gotta take their word for it.
Yeah, I'm just like, damn, man, you caught me with my pants down with that one. That is perfect. All right, Nez. Your boy is done here. We got some stuff this weekend. We got a golf tournament, we got weddings, all this sort of stuff. So doing travel stuff tomorrow, but Nez will be here for you guys. Shout out again to Spike, who donated 20 memberships. That is going to be made good on tomorrow night by Pete and Nez with a nose strip Nez times After Dark crossover. Going to be drafting some Dawg Bowls there. And then off and on the clock tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, your final definitive preview for the main slate there. Best of luck to everybody in the primetime Paloozas this evening. Don't forget there is a 5-game baseball slate there as well. Nez, anything else for the people?
No, be on the lookout for the Dawg Bowl pick'em token. We'll check out our X accounts and you'll see a link where you can sign up for that. It is a Google form that you fill out. Look for a Google form link on x.com, the everything website. Fill out that form, get your token. It's the easiest decision in the world to be playing these.
Absolutely. Yeah, be crazy if you're putting any time on this platform in or watching these shows to not play that contest. Yeah, obtainable path to the Dawg Bowl. All right, everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. Good luck tonight.